Hello, so I want to just show a bit of some of the things I've been learning in Webflow, and I want to walk you through how I connected a CMS collection to this FAQ section. And the FAQ section is just a simple one. We have the question and then the answer opens up. There's a little bit of an easing to it, and for each one, there's plus and minus which changes as it opens. So let's get into the breakdown. We already have this, right? So I'm just going to delete um, the collection list wrapper, and this is where I had the FAQ wrapper and the FAQ item. So I'm just going to go briefly into how I structured it, and then we get into connecting the ACMS collection to it. So I have the FAQ wrapper. This will be where we have the list of different items, FAQ items that then houses questions and answers. So each item has a question block and an answer block. The question block has the text, and then where we have plus and minus, the image wrapper. So it has plus and minus icon, while the answer is just a text, right? So again, FAQ wrapper, then we have the FAQ items, which then have the question and answer for each item. All right, so coming into this, the first thing we want to do is that is coming into the CMS side of things. The first thing we want to do is actually add a list, right? A collection list. So I did Control A to bring up this, and then we put in the collection list. And so the next thing we want to do is to actually um, create the collection in the CMS database. Because if I try to, I need this FAQ item because it's going to go into my collection item. So if I try to copy it and put it here, we get this error. It says we should connect this collection list to a collection before adding elements. So that's what we're going to do. So I have these collections I've already created, but I'm going to create a new one. And what we do is we click on this plus icon, it brings up this, and then we can give it a collection name. I'm going to give it FAQ new 2, right, like that. And then we can then have the collection URL. The collection URL is just the tag after the domain name. And then we have the collection item, the collection fields. So this is where we're going to put in our question. We could take the basic info as the question field, or we could create a new one. So I'm going to say this is question, and then save this, save the field. The slug, you're going to leave this slug because this is what is going to make up the ending tag that is for each collection item. So we are going to leave the slug and then create a new custom field that is going to have a answer. Now you don't want to just take a plain text. You would, I think it's better to actually use the rich text so that in cases where you have a link, you can just um, use the rich text attributes to add a link or even like bullet points and stuff like that. So I'm going to name this answer, and then we'll leave the help text. If you wanted to customize this, you could also do that, but then we don't need to right now. So we have our question, we have our answer, and so we create collection. Okay, so I actually added an S here. So we could generate sample items. If you had, now one of the beauty of this thing is if you had a bunch of question and answers already in a CSV doc, an Excel sheet, you could just import it and it just comes in. But you have to make sure that if you're doing that, that you make sure the columns matches the fields, the field names that you have, so it's easy for Webflow to recognize. So I'm going to generate sample items. I'm going to take 5, and one thing I want it to do is the answer. Since it's a rich text, I want the answer to make the answer to have just a paragraph. So I don't want bullet points or links or headings, just a paragraph. So it looks like um all right. So it looks more like a question and answer. So it's generating. It's going to take a few seconds to do that, and then we see what we have or what we're working with. Okay. Now it has done this. What is the CMS benefits of using this and all of that? If we click into it, we see that it's give us a paragraph. If I didn't put in that prompt, it would have given me a heading, bullet point, and all of that, which we don't need. So question and answer. So we have all we need, and let us go back to the designer to connect it. Now, to connect it, you just click on it and go to settings, and then you see FAQ new UX, and now it's connected. So it already knows the number of items because of the connection. All we now need to do is to bring in our FAQ item block, which has the question and the answer. So the structure we already created. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to actually go into the item, which is where I'll drop this. And if I drop it, it duplicates for the 5 items, right? So this is how to um, put in the item into the CMS collection. So we have to now, lastly, we have to now link the question to the question field we have, and then the answer to the answer field we have in the collection. So just click on this and go to settings plus, and then we have question, and then it's linked CMS trends 2023 and all that. Now for the answer, if you look at the answer, I actually used a paragraph. So if I click on this, it's not going to show me my answer field in my collection. So I have to change this to match the type of field that it has in the collection. So I'm just going to delete the, I'm going to delete this, and then Control E brings up this. I put rich text, and then it's in. So if I should add the rich text, and you see that it brings up the answer field now. So I can just click on this, and then we have our answer block well populated. Okay, so let's see how this looks now in the preview. Okay, good. Now, in case you want to check out the interactions, don't worry, I have another video on how to create the interaction for you to do this easy and all. So just drop a comment on this one, and I'll send it to you. So lastly, one thing I want to just go over is if you wanted to sort the items in this field, there's actually a way to do it. And if you were in the CMS collection, you see that you can't really like sort things here, right? But in the designer, you can click on this, and you actually have to click on like the wrapper or list, right? Not this. So you have to click on either the list or the wrapper or the item, and then you'd see all these options. So you see sorting, you see filter, and you can actually sort by the field question. You can sort by dates and all. But if you wanted to manually say, okay, I want this question to be at the number 1, I want this other question to be at number 2, I want this other question to be at 5, you have to do something different. And what you do is you go into the CMS collection, and then you add, click on this setting icon and add a new field for number. And so we are going to use this field to order the items. So you don't need to click on any of those. So you save field, save collection. So when you do that, you have a new field saying order, and then you can go in and say, okay, I want this to be the first one. And so in the order, I'm going to give it 1. This will be my second, and then in the order, I give it 2. This, the third. This, the fourth. And this, maybe the fifth. So if you look at the order, you see that this security tips is the first, trend second, CMS third, and let's go and then sort it by that particular field. So still selected, you go into the sorting. I can delete this one and add a new one, and you'd see order now shows up. Click on it, smallest to largest, and you see that immediately it lines up in the order that you have dropped it, or you've put into the collection. So you can also do from largest to smallest. This is how to sort your items. So we've gone over how to create a collection list, how to connect it to the structure you have, and also how to sort the items in the field. I hope this video was helpful, and see you another time. Take care. Bye.